Hi guys, I'm Saintvicious, and I'm going to be doing my first impression of the 9.18 big item changes that they're putting in. They're adding in 10 items total and a new base item component. The base item component is sparring gloves. It gives you 10% dodge and 10% crit chance. And basically, if you combine this in item, it says if it's an offensive item, you get 20% crit, and if it's a defensive item, this will turn into 10% dodge. So the item's abilities actually alter a little bit. I think the crit's going to be really interesting with some builds, or even the dodge is going to be really interesting. So I think this is a cool item overall. Adds a lot of flavor to the game, and a lot of the items it builds into also sound like really cool items. So I'm pretty excited for it. They added in thieving gloves, which builds out of 2 sparring gloves. A champion holding thief gloves can't hold other items except temporary ones gained by this item. Thief gloves cannot be given to a champion that already holds an item. On round start, gain 2 temporary items. Their quality is based on your player level. So basically, you could just randomly get like Hurricane and like Rapid Fire or something like that together. But then the next time you fight your next battle, it could be like Death Cap and Sorcerer Buff or some shit like that. So I think that's a lot of like really kooky, interesting things. But you're basically getting a 2-item quality, 2 items out of 1, even if you don't really get to pick like what they do. So I think this could be kind of a cool item, especially for baiting Hex Tech and things like that. So I think there definitely could be some good cases where you could use this that could be pretty cool. Hand of Justice, it either at the beginning of the fight you either gain 40% increased damage, so it's like almost like a mini Imperial buff, or you gain 40 life on hit until the end of the round. So I guess it's like a weird version of lifesteal. I'm not really sure how much I'd want to build this item. I mean, it builds out a sparring glove and Tear of the Goddess. It's a little bit of a weird item. I'm not really like. I mean, maybe you build this on like your Jinx or your Draven or something, but overall I think that this item is a little bit too inconsistent, and then even the payoff for it is like a little bit weird as well. So I'm pretty sure I'd avoid that item. Infinity Edge now builds out a Sparring Glove and BF Sword and no longer requires the double BF, which I think is really great because I thought Infinity Edge was a great item. However, BF Sword was like way too contested of a thing, and you never wanted to waste 2 BF Swords on it. So I think that what this does is it allows Infinity Edge to be a little bit more of a consistent buy, and you might actually see people buying it. So I really like that it builds out of this right now. This is my favorite item that they put into the game. Arcane Gauntlet, basically it allows your abilities to critical strike. So, you get that 1,000 damage Karthus ultimate or that Aesol ultimate. Now that thing can crit, for whatever amount of damage that they decide to make it the crit on the ability. So I think that's pretty sick. And it builds out of Sparring Gloves and Needlessly Large Rod. So I think it's super cool. Pretty excited for this item. I think that this gives mages a lot of oomph with their abilities, and it's going to be really, really cool overall. And you could probably even build this on like things like Kha'Zix or just like random units like Cho'Gath. And like imagine if you crit a Cho'Gath ultimate, it's just going to just one-shot everything. They put QSS into the game. I know everybody's complaining about crowd control. It prevents the next crowd control effect applied to the wearer, refreshes every 5 seconds. So it gives you a pretty consistent way of avoiding CC. I actually think that it could be really good in a lot of cases, but it does build out a Sparring Glove and Negatron Cloak, so it will probably end up being like a defensive item. So I'm not really sure like how powerful it will be on some carries, but I definitely think that it's going to create a situation where, like, let's say you can't get double Rapid Fire Cannon on Draven, and everybody knows that Draven always just runs in the middle of the team and kills themselves or like runs into CC, right? This is going to allow you to actually build QSS on Draven and then build like some other damage items like Rage Blade and Infinity Edge or something along those lines. So it definitely adds a little bit more flavor to the way that you can build your carries in the late game. Iceborne Gauntlet on dodge creates an expandable 30% attack speed slow zone. I'm not sure how expandable that is. Like, it doesn't even really say. Depending on how big it is, like, my problem with items like this is this is never going to reach the ADC in the backline or the mage in the backline. So you're really only slowing like melees and tanks attack speed. So I'm kind of on the fence about it. This item might be like okay on like some assassins or something like that. You can put on like Pike and then like jump into the back line and then be like AoE slowing or something. I don't know. I'm sure like there's like some cases that you could possibly pull that item out, but it seems kind of weird to me. Backhand, the wearer starts the combat with a spell shield and you stun the enemy that breaks the shield for a long time. It's an interesting item. Builds out Giant Spell and Sparring Glove. So we give you the dodge. I think that this item might be cool on like some frontliners. I'm not really sure what the cooldown on the ability or like if you can only use the ability one time. You maybe even could put it on like a range or like an assassin or something, or like a range unit. Seems like a weird item. Maybe it could have some like good cases, but this one seems like the least practical of the items overall. But I'm sure there's like some cool stuff you could do with it. A repeating crossbow. This is the weirdest item to me that they added in. So basically, when the wearer dies, repeating crossbow passes to a new ally, and they gain an additional 20% crit chance and 20% attack speed. This stacks with each pass of the item. Pretty much like, let's say you put this on like one of your weaker units that you don't have upgraded on the front line, and it just keeps spitting past through like your front line. I think there's like a lot of like crazy random stuff. Like by the time it makes it to your Draven's gonna have like 100% crit and like max attack speed or something, you know. So I think that this item will definitely do some like kooky stuff. Where you can like clutch out fights. This is one of my favorite items that they added, and I think it's actually going to be really cool. Mittens now give 10% crit chance and 10% dodge chance, whereas also a Yordle. So this is actually one of the cooler items too. You know, you don't really have a way of making any units into Yordles, so you get stuck with like Tristana or something bad in your team comp. But now you could like make Morgana a Yordle, or like you can make like Sejuani a Yordle, or like any like you make Yasuo a Yordle. You can make Pantheon a Yordle. Imagine Pantheon as a Yordle, magic immune and dodging and a billion armor. It's like, how the hell do I kill this guy, you know? So I think that like you could pull out some like really cool comps like that. And I'm like pretty excited for some of the things that you can do with that. They created this item called Lord's Edge, which is built out of BF Sword, BF Sword. This item doesn't really make much sense to me. I think it's like an item you just put on like a random one carry. Basically, a champion holding Lord's Edge can't hold other items except temporary ones gained by this item. Lord's Edge cannot be given to a champion that already holds an item. On takedown, you gain a BF Sword for the remainder of the round. For those doing the math at home, yes, a champion can hold 3 Lord's Edges by the end of the round. So basically, for every kill you get an extra 20 AD, which could end up being 120 AD at the end of the fight. I mean, this could have like a big top side like potential to like what it could do. Like 120 AD is a lot of AD, but I don't know. It seems like it's like a jinx. Like you kill the one unit and you start popping off. You know what I'm saying? So it could be good in like some comps if you do have the double BF, but it'll be kind of interesting. Now they added Last Whisper. So remember, Rapid Fire Cannon does not make you get past dodge anymore. Now you have to build Last Whisper. And Last Whisper attacks can't miss, and they deal true damage equal to 5% of the target's maximum health. So I think because they've removed this dodge ignore off of Rapid Fire Cannon, they moved it over to this item. I think that Yordles are going to be like a lot more prevalent and a lot stronger, because you have to actually think about building Last Whisper, because Last Whisper is not really that great of an item unless you're playing against Yordles or Mega Tanks. So just something to think about. I think this is like a pretty good game design decision, and I'm pretty like happy with it. I'm pretty excited for this new item changes. I know it's not coming for another 2 weeks, so it's going to be a little while, but I hope to play that for you guys on stream. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye. Bye.